Yes? Can I help you?
May I be of service?
relic hunter returns. Tell me, was your search for Uzdabik's helm successful? There's a display, so it really does exist. Sometimes you never know when you're dealing with myth and legend. Could I trouble you to take it downstairs and place it in its display? In the meantime, I'll find that list of relics I mentioned the last time we spoke. It's so nice to have a little help around here. Thanks for finding that historic treasure and setting it on its display. But this is only the beginning. The wilds of Rothgar are brimming with all sorts of important antiquities. Indubitably, you've got a talent for relic hunting, and I'd be remiss if I didn't take advantage of that. Here's a list of the relics I believe await us in the wilds of Rothgar. Find them, bring them here, and the museum will reward you handsomely. Remember to check the list. We have very specific needs here at the House of Orsimer Glories. Distinctive portions of history that we want to put on display. You mean as curator?
I never knew the orcs were capable of building such wonders.
Well, I'm not cleaning this up. Come see for yourself.
Friend, there's no time. Take this. Keep it safe. Information. The Ice Reach Coven at work in the west. Just need more proof. Go! They're coming! Don't trust them. Only Lyris. She's...
You there! What did that fugitive tell you? Who are you? Another spy? What did this lying Easterner say to you? Assisting a fugitive is a crime in Hafingar Hold. Unless you want to find out how we deal with traitors and spies, tell me what he said to you. Ice Reach Coven? Ridiculous. The only threat to the west are those damn spies from Eastern Skyrim, conspiring against our king. Forget whatever nonsense this skeever told you, and be on your way. You hear more talk like his, report it to the guard. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong. Solitude doesn't take kindly to instigators or strangers. And mark my words, you'd rather not get on the wrong side of the High King's guard. Go on. Just remember, I'll be keeping an eye on you.
back. I'll do it. I'll stab you. I mean it. One step closer, and I'll stick you like a hawker. I don't know any Brondold. That is what I told the guards, and that is what I'm telling you. I don't want any more trouble. You make me stab you, and it's my word against yours. Dead? Stone's mercy. And I'm next, aren't I? I promise. I don't know anything. I won't make any trouble. I'll disappear. I don't even like it here. You'll never see me again. He did not tell me a lot. Said he was tracking some bad people. Asked me to keep an eye out for any unusual comings and goings. He'd come by now and then with a sweet roll and a few coins for my trouble. He was nice. The last time we spoke, it was about the men with the job postings. A pair of wolves in sheep's clothing. Trying to blend in, but still off around the edges. Same with their horses. Sheared mountain mares. Come from the Reach, I wager. A wild land full of wild folk, located south and west of here. It's changed hands between Reachman and the Nords more times than I can count. But they control the territory now. Seeing Reachman wandering the streets of Solitude, it makes me nervous. You'd feel the same if you knew the tales of the fall of Markarth. What the Richmen do to folks they capture. Better to slice your own throats than let those barbarians take you alive. If they raid our hold, just run and don't look back. They'd be wise to. The only time Reachmen and Nords meet is to kill each other. I always heard they were raiders and barbarians. No interest in honest labor, or writing for that matter. Not the sort to post job notices. Who knows? Maybe they really do need laborers. Can't imagine Reachmen would hire Nords, though. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Flyers. They were hanging them at the inn around the city. Something about a lucrative opportunity in the Druidek Mountains. I really did not pay them a lot of attention. I was more interested in the men distributing them. Take Brondle's horse and run before someone less friendly comes to find me. Braun was going to take me back east after he finished here. I want to live where strangers are welcomed with a smile instead of a scowl. I hear Wilhelm is like that. We're stuck between the despot of Markarth and the Scold King of the East. Both sniff around like wolves, waiting for a moment of weakness to strike. Not a day goes by without a threat of war. It is exhausting living this way. The last time we spoke, it was about the men with the job postings. A pair of
got some...
What do you want?
I'm accustomed to stairs, but I reached my threshold for gawkers a long time ago. Move along. I'm waiting for someone. He's what? Damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Lyris Titanborn. Your reputation is known even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best. Go introduce yourself, partner.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Reachman transgressions will not be enough for Svargrim to accept outside help. He's a prideful man, and the bad blood between him and Yoren runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris will need to bring me proof he cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoren, and not necessarily in one piece. My deepest apologies. Between the Reach to our south and the Ebonheart Pack to the east, our soldiers have come to see all outsiders as a potential threat. I will look into this. Vigilance cannot be allowed to become a bludgeon. You must convince my husband that a threat greater than Yoren exists. Further, this threat must directly imperil the High King. Find proof of this, and I will assist you how I can. Helping to keep our hold safe will also allay his concerns. It's enough for me to believe your intentions are sincere. Learn more about these suspicious activities you mentioned, then bring it to me. If this threat is as dangerous as Yoren claims, prove it, and I will make my husband listen to reason. Eastern and Western Skyrim have been at odds since the kingdom was divided. Yoren's ambitions for the Ruby Throne, however, have created a new level of tension. Forming alliances and raising armies for conquest. Should we not be wary of such a man? Frankly, yes. He believes Yoren hasn't marched here with an army as yet, because the Western holds are firmly united against Pact rule. My husband is certain Yoren plots to erode those allegiances. He will not easily earn the High King's trust.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brondald was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoren the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brondald thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brondald mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega, who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog, who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. Succinctly? No, but I'll try. The Icereach Coven recently attacked the Skull King. We learned they're planning something in western Skyrim as well, so Yoren sent me to warn them. Beyond that, we have the leads Brondald found, and that's about it. Reach witches from an island to the north in the Sea of Ghosts. Nords drove their kind out of Skyrim a long time ago, and we thought they were gone forever. Seems we were wrong. While it's true that Svargrim and Yoren don't get along, the Skull King doesn't want something terrible to befall western Skyrim. That would be bad for the east as well as the west. Besides, Yoren was hoping for an opportunity to improve relations. We don't, but it's all we've got. Even if they aren't connected to the Icereach Coven, taking care of a few of Svargrim's problems might earn us some goodwill. Now, let's go check out the back alleys and the Lonely Troll Inn. Lyra's Titanborn. I was one of Emperor Varen's 5 companions. Currently, I serve Yoren the Skald King. Skyrim's my home, and I'll do whatever's necessary to protect it. Whoever's behind these threats will regret it, as soon as we identify them. This axe and I have been all over Tamriel, to oblivion and back on more than one occasion for that matter. I've earned my reputation. Yoren hoped my fame might persuade Svargrim to grant me an audience, but it seems to be working against me. Most of the tales of my exploits involve the liberal application of the blade of my axe. Svargrim must think Yoren sent me here to strong-arm him into joining the Pact. He's wrong, but I'd probably jump to the same conclusion. I'm not the first Nord from the east to receive a chilly reception at the Blue Palace. Doubt I'll be the last.
The only fish that go with the river's flow.
Hello there.
Hey, don't step on the dice. There a reason you're interrupting our game, pork face? Don't know any Brondald. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning streak.
My friend asked nicely. Talk, or the next thing to roll will be your heads.
Kasala! She handles all the smuggling in Solitude. Her warehouse is on the docks.
That wasn't so hard. Come on, partner. We're done here. Let's stop by the Lonely Troll before we head to Kasala's warehouse. If we can find him, this Mog mentioned in Brondald's journal might know something about Kasala's operation.
Well?
You must be Mog. I have questions.
Questions?
Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds and let's chat.
You're going to answer me, Orc, or...
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Svana. Sometimes you charge ahead, and sometimes you step in a steaming pile of mammoth dung. I'll let you deal with the princess.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father didn't send you, why are you threatening my friend? Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe. I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner.
Oh, well done. You handled the princess with skill and aplomb. Saves me the trouble of having to talk her down. I'd say I'm in your debt, but it was your she-giant that provoked her in the first place. That's what this was all about? You and this she-giant looking for work? You're too late, I'm afraid. The posting agent has come and gone, and with a handful of laborers in tow. The flyers are still around, so perhaps he'll return. I heard mention of the Drudok Mountains, but I doubt that was anything more than a false trail. Most of these mining concerns like to keep the true location of their hoard a trade secret. Well, is that it? You a competitor out to steal their mine? Overheard snippets of conversation and a feeling in my gut. While the hiring agent might have been a Breton, his associates were clearly from the Reach, by the way. I also heard talk of a lodge outside the city, and perhaps a stop along the way.
Since we're all friends now, why don't you sit down and buy me a drink? It isn't often you get to consort with royalty. What? I don't look royal enough to you? I'm the High King's daughter, whether I like it or not. I didn't ask for the position. It was thrust upon me by an accident of birth. And I don't much care for all the associated decorum and responsibility. Anything! As long as it's what I want, not what I'm supposed to do. Everybody acts like my parents are in charge, but they're just slaves to their crowns. They barely exist aside from their roles as king and queen. I refuse to wind up like that. You're so interested, then you do it! Go on! Get out of here! You're spoiling my good mood.
So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her, and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit? Kasala must have some security at her warehouse, so you take the lead when we get there. I tend to lose my temper in the face of physical opposition, and I'd prefer not to draw the attention of the guard by slaughtering any belligerent hirelings.
Go!
That's Kasala's warehouse. Only one sentry. Let's try not to cause a scene.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. Half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Kasala returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Kasala doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. But we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? It would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you! You don't know how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him, but this is our chance. Try the lock.
Every man has his price.
See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
I'll pass. I just want to know who's been meddling in my business. I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Give me that! Tribal crafts my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods, especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't cursed, is it? No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see a same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this. The Breton was sly. Handsome even. Thought he could charm me into taking on additional shipments. Now that I know what's involved, the trouble isn't worth it. The Nords were local, hired hands from the Lonely Troll. I'm paid not to ask too many questions. This arrangement was a lucrative one. I trusted them, but it seems they took advantage of my natural greed. That won't happen again.
Brondald had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? Without a doubt, the Coven's attack on Yoren involved a ritual. Why hire locals, though? Seems like an unnecessary risk. And how does the Breton figure in? I suppose using different people draws less attention. Something doesn't feel right. No reason not to. Head there while I circle around from the other direction in case they're already on the move. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner before we actually figure out what we're up against. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
Oh, he's gonna get more than an autograph if I...
A sword. I have more than I need, so I'll just feast on you.
Over here, partner. All I found were these Reachmen stalking the pass. Decided they'd rather die than talk, so I obliged. They don't look like they're from Ice Reach, but they are wearing the Coven's medallions. Anyway, did you find the lodge? Kilcreath? The temple to Meridia? Why would the Ice Reach Coven target a local Daedra cult? Damn, we're running out of time. I'll head back to Solitude and try again to warn High King Svargrim. You go to Kilcreath Temple and alert Meridia's priests. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. You'll be going up against the Coven by yourself. Warn the priests. If there's an opportunity to safely stop or delay the ritual, by all means, but don't take any unnecessary chances. I still don't want to lose another partner.
Yo!
Disaster has befallen Kilcreath Temple. Don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm. But there are Harrow fiends swarming around Kilcreath Temple who do. Head back to safety before they find. I'm sorry, but you're too late. An unnatural storm struck the temple and now the entire area is overrun by vampires and Harrow fiends. Harrow fiends are feral vampires, a byproduct of the unnatural Harrow storm. As for me, I am Fenorian of House Ravenwatch. I came here on the trail of remains stolen from a mass grave in Bankurai. They were shipped to Solitude in ancient urns. Yes, I've run into the Coven as well. The urns and the stolen remains play a part in a ritual to summon the storms. If you're willing, I could use your assistance. I need to finish my investigation of the site to see what else I can learn. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess. House Ravenwatch is one of the noble houses of Rivenspire. Our liege, Count Verandus, has dedicated us to the cause of peaceful coexistence between mortals and those of the vampiric persuasion. That often makes us defenders of Tamriel. True, but I've seen evidence of a vampiric connection. At the very least, the material they transported from Bankurai included the remains of ancient vampires. They were part of an army that was defeated in the First Era, the Grey Host. An army that consisted of vampires and werewolves, led by King Styriek and Verkarth. They were eventually defeated by the garrison at Bankurai in High Rock. It all happened a very long time ago, but such remains radiate with arcane power. Is it that obvious? But have no fear. As a member of House Ravenwatch, I have pledged to never take blood from an unwilling sub. I am much more than just a vampire. In addition to being an agent of House Ravenwatch, I am a master alchemist and an expert in arcane studies. I do try to avoid direct violence, though, to make sure I never give in to temptation. The Ice Reach Coven performed a ritual that unleashed a Harrow storm on the temple. It struck without warning and evaporated as quickly as it began. But in its wake, it left behind Harrow fiends. Innocent priests and pilgrims transformed into monsters. That's what I heard the Ice Reach Coven call the storm that struck Kilcreath Temple. It's magical in nature. The result of some sort of ritual performed by the witches. I'm still investigating, but I think the Harrow fiends are a byproduct of the storm. An alchemical residue. That should prove useful. Let's look for more witch pikes. The more I can learn, the better chance I have of understanding the nature of this ritual. It's depleted. Just ordinary sticks and rope now. Interesting. Can you feel the lingering energy? That's Daedric, if I'm not mistaken. These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Hero Storm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple. Strange. They're alive, but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items. Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new... These are temple priests and pilgrims. It seems the storm killed them. I'll need to perform more tests. But from what we've seen, I believe the storm affects mortals in 3 distinct ways. It kills them, transforms them into harrow fiends, or leaves them mindless. I suppose I'd say it harrowed those poor pilgrims. I want to learn more about the ritual and how it produces the harrow storms. And I need to confirm my theories about the storm's effects. I'll start by examining the residue from the witch pike to identify the components used to power the ritual. My alchemical equipment. It's extremely fragile, so I left it in my pack. I hid it among a copse of trees once I saw all the vampires and harrow fiends. Once I retrieve it, I can find a place to begin my analysis.
That's close enough, Leech.
Wait! I'm not part of the coven!
Looks like I made it back just in time. This place is crawling with vampires, and that one was about to make a meal out of you. House Ravenwatch. I've heard of them, but he's a long way from Rivenspire. Well, if you're willing to trust a vampire, I suppose I can too. I spotted a Coven Witch. If we hurry, we might be able to catch her. On the cliff overlooking the temple. Calls herself Sister Embrit. I was going to rush her, but I wanted to make sure you hadn't run afoul of any of these monsters first. No offense, Fen. Come on. If we're lucky, the witch is still up there.
Perhaps I could question the witch before you introduce her to your impressive axe blade?
Please, can anybody help us?
Isn't bloody enough.
No matter. I found something. This way?
Go with your vampire friend. I'm gonna look around here.
Do you see? These are the same as the urns smuggled from Bankarai. They didn't just shatter. They exploded. I can sense traces of magicka clinging to the shards that matched the energy used in the storm ritual. These other fragments, though. All this rubble scattered around didn't just come from these urns. The texture and patterns are different. They appear to have used the funerary dust in the urns to summon the Harrow Storms. But I'm not sure what was inside the larger vessels. Look at the shape of the fragments. They come from a hollow receptacle of some sort. Something at least as tall as you. Perhaps larger. Just another piece of the puzzle. Maybe when I analyze the witchpike residue, an answer will suggest itself. Thank you, but no. I try to avoid large population centers. The temptation. You understand. I'll find someplace nearby, but out of the way where I can set up my equipment and work undisturbed. I'll send word when I have something to report. I met a clever woman who lives in the bog near Morthal. Old Mjolnir's a dying breed among the Nords, a practitioner of the old magic. The locals both admire and fear her. If anyone can help me untangle the Coven's ritual, it's her. The Raven Watch has had to curtail rogue vampire clans, and put down feral blood fiends on occasion, but I've never dealt with anything like this before. People turning into hero fiends, or becoming mindless harrowed. It's a nightmare. Yes, but more research is required to confirm anything. Still, from what we observed here, it appears the Hero Storm produced 3 distinct results in those caught with Mjolnir's experience with the old ways and reach magic make her ideally suited to assist me in this endeavor. She's the closest thing to an expert we're likely to find out here. At least one who doesn't want to feed our eyes to a harpy. Western Skyrim consists of 3 holds: Haathengard, Hjalmarch, and Carthald. Morthal is the capital of Hjalmarch. It's located southeast of Solitude, along the River Hjal. Old Mjolnir lives in the marshlands nearby.
So, what did your vampire friend discover? Reach witches summoning magical storms to create feral vampires? That's horrible, but to what purpose? Well, that's the next puzzle to solve. First, we need to get this information to the Queen. Here. This was for Brondolf, but it's yours now. Queen Gerhild needs to hear what we discovered at Kilcreath Temple. Hopefully that will be enough for her to get us an audience with High King Svargrim. The Queen seemed reasonable. She'll believe us. As for Svargrim, who can tell? I haven't met the man, but everything I've heard describes him as prideful, arrogant, and hard-headed. Even with the Queen's help, there's no guarantee. I'd like to knock down the palace door, grab him by the throat, and shake him until he listens. That would probably start a war, though, and Yoren specifically asked me to avoid that. For now, let's bring our evidence to Queen Gerhild. If there's anything else we need to discuss, let's get it out of the way now, before we return to Solitude. Hey, you and Fëanorian came to that conclusion, not me. Still, it makes as much sense as anything. As to why, I have no idea. This connection to vampires, though, that's troubling. We should keep Fen away until we get into Svargrim's good graces. A clever woman? Out here? Nords are extremely distrustful of magic, especially Nords from Western Skyrim. I'm surprised the people of Morthal tolerate her presence. If anyone can help Fen figure out the Coven's ritual, though, it would be her. Our priority remains getting an audience with High King Svargrim. We need to convince him that the Ice Reach Coven is a threat to his kingdom, and get him to help us stop them. Let's return to Solitude and present our findings to the Queen. Clever men and women are Nords with an aptitude for magic, though most use the term to refer to practitioners of the old ways. They're rare. Not the usual adepts found at the Mages Guild. Distrust of magic runs deep in Skyrim, especially out here. Could be that the elves our ancestors fought soured our taste for magic. Or maybe there weren't enough skalds singing about wizards going to Sovngarde. Might be that Nords just prefer their natural talents. Either way, magic isn't popular here.
What
is it?
Help! Assassins in the palace! Help!
That's one of the Queen's attendants. Let's get inside.
Be strong, Svanna.
Mother! No! No!
Svanna, your father, the kingdom. Watch over.
Mother! No! You can't die! Mother!
Sire, the assassins might return. You must get to somewhere safe.
Have Yoren's lackeys come to gloat?
We came here to warn you, Your Highness.
And yet my wife lies dead.
If you had listened to us...
Like she did. If I determine Yoren had a hand in this, there will be war! Someone take care of my wife!
Father, please. Gods, what a disaster. The Queen's been assassinated and Svargrim still refuses to listen to reason. We need to find a way to set things right. Good question. The guards should have been able to handle a run-of-the-mill assassin. This could be connected to the Icereach Coven. In fact, I'd wager my axe that it is. Look around. See if you can find any indication of how the assassin got in and out of the palace so easily. Maybe even turn up something that ties the murderer to the Coven. I'll make sure the princess...
My time is precious.
Svanna's taking this pretty hard. I suppose most daughters feel close to their mothers. Not that I'd know, I never knew my mother. Sorry, don't mind me. Did you find anything that might lead us to the assassin? We've seen these medallions before. On the Reachman near Kilcreath. And I saw them on the witches in Icereach. The assassin definitely seems to be in league with the Coven. But can we get Svargrim to believe that and accept the danger he's in? Svargrim has every right to be angry. He watched his wife die right before his eyes. But he's the High King. He doesn't have the right to be stupid. Time to make Svargrim confront some hard truths. Come on, the Sword Thane led the king upstairs.
I'll be at this until I drop.
We need to see the High King.
I should think not. The High King is in mourning. He's not to be disturbed.
The Queen's wasn't the only life lost today. Now get out of our way.
Go right in.
Your Highness, please. Your kingdom is in grave danger.
My queen's blood hasn't yet cooled, and already Yoren's lackeys hound me.
We have proof that the Coven threatening your kingdom is responsible for the Queen's death. Show him, partner.
Does Yoren think me so weak that he believes his half-giant can twist my arm and fill my head with lies? I am not so easily duped, outsider. Reach witches. They pose no threat. We've beaten back those wild dogs time and time again, while our brothers to the east bow down to a poetry-writing milk drinker. I will not be lectured on such matters by the likes of you. Tales told around campfires to scare the children. Storms happen here all the time, and none of them spawn monsters. The last spy who spoke of such things, well, he no longer speaks of such things. I am the Wolf of Solitude. I know my enemies. you dishonor my wife's name by letting it pass through your treacherous lips? Away with you! And pray I don't find evidence that ties you to the Queen's murder. That would not...
We'll leave you to your grief, Your Highness.
Is it true? Mother told me you were working for her before she...
I'm sorry, Svanna. I would have saved her if I could.
My mother. She told me she gave the mighty Lyris Titanborn an important task. Tell me, what were you doing for my mother? Threat? What threat? And do you think this is why someone came into the palace and killed her? And did you tell my father all this? Is he rallying the soldiers? Alerting the other holds? My father sees Yoren's plots everywhere, even in his spicy venison stew. Well, I won't let my mother's death be for nothing. She trusted you, and so will I. My father be damned. Please, find whoever did this and stop them. I saw the assassin. He moved fast. Unbelievably fast. He leaped through the window after stabbing my mother. By that time, the guards had gathered, so I guess he decided to flee. Try to follow his trail. Someone outside must have seen something.
He was fast, that's for certain. Here and gone before the guards could even draw their swords. Other than that, I didn't get a good look. The inside... My father? Listen to me? When horkers fly, maybe. But probably not even then. He gave up on me a long time ago. I'm sorry. I'm no use to you. No use. I'm not my mother. Never will be. But I swear I'll do whatever I can to help you. You have my word on that.
No. My mother... The last time we spoke, I hurled a mug at her. But I came when she summoned me. Just in time to see her murdered. I need to pull myself together. She asked me to watch over my father. The kingdom... I can't let her down.
He was fast, that's for certain. Here and gone before the guards could even draw their swords. Other than that, I didn't get a good look. The inside of his hood was nothing but shadows.
Come on, Princess. Let's get you somewhere safe.
Don't call me Princess. Just Svanna. There's nothing noble about me.
What?
My wife. She is like ice. So cold. So pale. All the warmth sucked out of her. There was a commotion at the palace. Everyone was headed that way. Except one man. No, not a man. He wore an eye patch. But his face was bestial. He dragged her along like a bone between a dog's teeth. Then he tossed her aside. Pale as snow. He was fast. So fast. Ran toward the hall of it.
Will you pray with me for these? It was a monster, a vampire. I have seen such creatures before, but this one wore an eye patch. It moved like a shadow and took sustenance from these poor souls. Toward the main gate, I pray the guard finished off the depraved creature before it took another innocent life.
You again? Didn't I warn you about putting your nose where... A vampire? I don't know what you're talking about. But whoever it was tore out Senolia's throat and fled through the gate before I could stop him. What do you know about all this? And why is it any... The Queen's dead? What about the High King? He'll have my head for letting the assassin slip away. Yeah. It's not like I opened the gate and let him slink off. The real problem's at the...
This is Svargrim's fault. He should have heeded us from the start. Damn Svargrim and his distrust of Yoren. How many more of his people have to die before he accepts the truth and lets us help him? Forget that for now. Tell me about the assassin. Did anyone get a good look at the murderer? That would explain the assassin's swiftness and ability to escape so easily. We knew the Ice Reach Coven had vampires on their side, but using them so blatantly. Anything else to report? Well then, time to fight fire with fire. They've got evil vampires, and we've got a friendly one. Let's find out exactly what your friend Fen knows about vampire clans in the area. Where did you tell me Fen was going again? Right, to research the ritual. Go find them and see what you can learn. I'll stay with Savannah. Bring her up to speed on everything we've uncovered. We're going to need her to get the High King to trust us. And I'm calling him Fen. It's simpler.
Local wisdom dictates that only the very brave or the very foolish seek the counsel of vampires and old crones. Which are you, I wonder? Well, out with it. What can old Mjolnir do for you?
Welcome to the middle of nowhere, my friend. You must be freezing. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me how your audience with the High King went. A bold move, even for them. Old Mjolnir and I have been comparing notes, and we've made some progress studying the Harrowstorm ritual. What happened to your large friend with the axe, by the way? We knew that vampires were working with the Coven, and old Mjolnir and I can say with certainty that the feral Harrow Fiends are byproducts of Harrowstorms. You think the assassin was one of the vampires in league with the Coven? An eye patch? That's uncommon. And this insignia, I've seen it before. It's the same as the symbol that decorates the urns smuggled out of Bankarai. If it belongs to a vampire bloodline, I'm not familiar with it. I suggest you ask Mjolnir.
Local wisdom dictates that only the very brave... A grim talisman. It bears an enchantment of some kind, though the symbol upon it holds no significance that I'm aware of. I can help find the owner of this medallion, but I need some specific items to cast such a divination. Bring me the bones of a wolf and a death bell plant pulled up by its roots. I need the plant alive. The wolf, not so much. With those reagents, I can conjure a divination that will lead you directly to the last person to wear this medallion. Death bell grows throughout the bog. You should have no trouble acquiring it. Wolves are plentiful in the wilderness around Morthal as well, but be cautious. Many seem afflicted by a strange and icy rime clings to the wolves, sapping the heat and life from their bodies until only a frigid, shambling corpse remains. You are safe from them here, but be mindful out in the wild. Welcome back. Good, good. Divinations can be fickle. Mother Wolf, hear me. We seek your blessing in our hunt. Lead us to our elusive quarry. Mother Wolf smiles upon you. She has seen fit to join your pack and aid you in your hunt. Mother Wolf has the scent and will lead you to your quarry. I have enchanted the medallion with a divination spell inextricably linked to its owner. Hold it to your nose and breathe deeply. It will guide you along his trail. Mother Wolf will guide you along the way, but you must still complete the hunt and find him. If the assassin eludes you, use the medallion to recover his trail. The wolf is relentless in her pursuit. The question is, will you be like the wolf?
Look! The magic points to the west. What an interesting use of primitive magic. That was clearly your vampire assassin. He even wore an eye patch. It looked like he was at a small camp. And you saw that ball of magic, huh? It went to the west. That must be where you'll find the camp. Didn't I tell you? The clever woman's magic can be quite exciting. Not my usual process of investigation, but effective just the same. I'll leave old Mjolnir to continue our research and follow after you. must have been desperate to feel. The assassin drained her of blood. Is it wrong to find these visions so intriguing? This one showed your assassin again, eye patch and all, by a cave near a waterfall. There's nothing we can do for her. The vampire assassin drained all the blood from her body. He took his time with her, I think. Probably needed to recover his strength after the event.
Chillwind Depths. They aren't? Oh, traveler, you must turn back. Chillwind Depths, it's crawling with giant... I'm a humble healer from Dragonbridge. My family, my brother, my sister, and I, one of the giant insects I told you about. My brother needs to stay by Hedrin's side. So, I'm trying to enter... Oh, thank you. I wasn't able... Chillwind mushrooms can only be found in this cave. The bugs eat them, and the deep lichen that grows on the walls. Well, when they aren't munching.
This is definitely the place in the vision. I'll slip past and scout ahead.
Watch out for giant bugs. They poison us. They camp. Could the stories about underground humanoids be true? Deep lichen. Giant insects love this stuff. I never would have gotten this far without your help. Let's be careful and find the rest of what I need. That's everything. Meet me outside and bring those ingredients.
deal with you next time, you psycho. Once again, I prove that I'm a scholar, not a warrior. I don't think he expected another vampire, though. I found the camp. Thought it was deserted, but the assassin must have been hiding in the shadows. He got the drop. It had more to do with your arrival than anything I did. Luckily, he left behind his belongings when he departed. I saw a map and some documents over there. I don't think... I didn't get a good look at that before. Mind bringing it over? Let me take a look at what you found. The letters are both addressed to the vampire assassin. Hentark Korb. That's an unusual title. This one gives the order to assassinate the queen. There the language is guarded. The other talks about miners and a final ritual. It looks like a map to a mine in Carthald. It could be the one mentioned in the letter. If that's the target of another Harrowstorm ritual, we need to stop it. Head south to the mine. I'll get word to Lyris and have him... My particular habits aside, one of us needs to find the assassin, and the other needs to alert Lyris Titanborn. I can handle the latter.
Quickly, traveler! Chillwind Mother. You have Mara and...
Listen closely. This is very important. The next time you visit a dungeon, don't forget to read anything you find. Plaques, scrolls, dusty tomes. You never know what you're going to learn from the words of history.
As evil lairs go, I'm not impressed.
I'll take that as a good sign.
We think this old mine is where our assassin fled to? The clever woman helped you track the Queen's assassin to his hideout in Chillwind Depths. He got away, but left behind evidence that the Coven's planning another Harrow Storm in this mine, and we're going to wreck those plans. Good. Less chance of them scurrying away if they think they have the advantage. I'm tired of chasing these rats through the shadow. These tunnels better be dug on a large size. Scaffolding. Let's follow it down.
Careful. The structure doesn't appear to be completely stable.
Relax. It'll take more than a rickety structure to take down Lyris Titanborn.
Actually, I was more concerned for my own.
Lead the way. I'm right behind. Lead the way. I'm right behind you. I think there's a cavern up ahead. It's just like the old legends. Blackreach.
Blackreach. So the legends are true. But why is there a town down here? My research into Skyrim included the legends of Blackreach, of course, but I never expected to see it. It's massive. That letter you found in the assassin's hideout, It mentioned a mining consortium in the darkness below. Could this be the place? Right. If the assassin is part of a vampire clan working with the Coven, I couldn't imagine a better hiding place than this land of constant night. My guess is that most of the miners have no idea what they've gotten themselves into. You and Lyris should. It's our best lead for finding the assassin. But if the miners have even an inkling of vampire activity down here, my presence might confuse the issue. I'm sure I can find something to do while you investigate the town. I'll keep out of sight and check the surrounding area while you and Lyris investigate the town. Meet me on the far side of town when you're finished, and we'll compare notes. Most of the legends are superstitious nonsense. It was once supposedly ruled by the dwarves, though. If that's true, we'll see their ruins. There are also a lot of tales about monsters. Pale, feral humanoids, giant insects. Be on your guard.
This is impressive. And that's coming from someone who's been to Oblivion and back. I can't believe there's someone living down here. But at least it gives us a place to start looking. No, but all the evidence you found suggests he's down here somewhere. Let's go see what the miners can tell us. But be ready for anything. This place has ambush written all over it. Let's split up. Take a look around. Ask some questions. If the assassin passed through that ramshackle town, maybe someone saw him. Call out if you run into trouble, but don't make a move until we're all back together. We can cover more ground that way. And lone travelers are less conspicuous than a large group. Plus, if one of us gets into trouble, the others can come to the rescue. Just stay close to the town. We don't want to become totally separated.
Traps. Did those two idiots set these things throughout all of Blackreach? Watch your back.
Phoebe, we have a visit. Focus on the task at hand, Phoebe. There will be time for that later.
Go bother someone else, Hawker. If I don't finish this by the end of my shift, the Overseer will have my hide. What do I look like? The town crier? If the Overseer wanted us to be observant, he wouldn't have blindfolded us when he brought us here. You weren't? Up to this point, the Overseer and his wife have been extra careful about keeping the exact location of this mine and the mining town a secret. What makes... Well, I haven't seen anyone like that. Now pick up a shovel and help me, or hork off. I can't afford to.
You must be new to Dusktown. You've still got that look. Well, get settled in. You won't be allowed topside again until you complete your contract. So you might as well get comfortable. A prisoner? No. Why would you think that? But we did sign a contract. Promised to stay until the work was done and never breathe a word. Otherwise, being a bonded miner with the Bitterblade Mining Consortium is a lucrative opportunity. Can't say that I have. And I haven't seen any ghosts or monsters either, come to think of it. Even though the rest of the town can't stop talking about them. Anyway, welcome aboard and good mining. Oh, don't let the rumors scare you. Miners are a superstitious lot. And being this far underground can play havoc with your senses. If you need to know anything else about Dust Town or working for the Bitterblade Mining Consortium, just ask. You mean those fools setting up their ghost traps? They're harmless. And if they make the superstitious miners feel better, I'm all right with that. El and Overseer Erlvar have been nothing but fair and honest with all of us. El Bitterblade, she owns the consortium. Erlvar's her husband and our Overseer. They built Dusk Town to support their claim. They're savvy business folk. Secretive, but...
What a waste of time. These people have no clue as to what's going on down here. I wonder if being stupid was part of their service contract. Did you turn up any? Just because no one saw him doesn't mean he wasn't here. Let's talk to Fen before we start turning this place inside out. Maybe he's had better luck. Right, Skull.
Over here!
You're just in time. I spotted the vampire with the eye patch. He met with the Coven Witch, who immediately ordered her lackeys to place witch pikes around the area. With arcane phenomena, anything's possible. If we hurry, we can stop this Harrowstone before it causes any damage. I'll track the Queen's assassin and the Coven Witch. You focus on stopping the Harrowstorm. I'll find...
Move. You take the east side. I'll take the west.
Witch...
Then meet in the middle.
Stop the Harrowstone before it could even get started. Well done, my friend. Before the witch could even begin her ritual, I saw the magicka disappear like the flame of a snuffed candle. The witch and the vampire assassin fled to Coggan. Time is of the essence. You get to the ruin, I'll find Lyris and we'll meet you there. It's southeast of Dusktown. If you get there before us, go inside and guard the entrance until we open.
here. Let's find this assassin.
Careful. I sense the presence of other vampires. Arrow fiends. Not the result of the ritual we stopped. So they must have brought them from someplace else.
Fools! We've left ourselves vulnerable. Chase? Been long enough. Sawdust shall revive Extra.
That's for Queen Gertrude.
Now we need to find Sister Thada.
Ashen Lord
There
commands
is
it.
this place.
And so we live once more, Ulfra.
Life again? How?
You have the Ice Reach Coven to thank for that, werewolf.
Using my recipes, witch.
I meant no disrespect to Exarch Singalis.
We're being watched, brother.
Next time, Tharda, the Ashen Lord, will expect more than the restoration of a single reliquary. Now deal with the intruders, or I'll toss you to the Harrow Fiends.
Come out, little skeevers. Come out and play with Sister Tharda. The Hughes killed my dear sisters. Our vengeance will plague you beyond the grave.
Go after the other two. Damn, we lost them.
You saw it too, right? That werewolf shed that statue like a snake sheds its skin. Was she inside that stone husk the whole time, waiting to be awakened? Or did the ritual somehow summon her into that vessel? There's a lot I still don't understand. A ritual, obviously. Remember the altar at Kilcreath? We found the urn, the reliquary, and shards from a large stone vessel. I think they were the remains of one of those stone husks. I'm not sure how, but it all ties back to the Harrowstorms. I thought the purpose of the Harrowstorms were to create Harrow Fiends. Now I think that's only a byproduct. The storm somehow gathered energy that the witch used to summon Ulfra the werewolf. Ulfra seems to think she was brought back to life. I've come to the conclusion that anything is possible where magic is concerned. I'm going to look around with Lyris, then return to Old Mjolnir to finish studying the witchpike residue. Maybe that will help me understand how the ritual works. Theoretically, using my knowledge of alchemy and Old Mjolnir's understanding of reach magic, we should be able to figure something out once we know what components were used in the ritual. I don't know of any Ashen Lord, but Exarch. I came across the term after the incident at the mass grave in Bankurai. It's a rank used by the ancient army. Its members were buried in that unhallowed grave. Their remains were smuggled here. The Grey Host. It was an army of vampires and werewolves that rampaged across Hammerfell during the First Era. There aren't a lot of records remaining, and even the burial site was a closely held secret. Exarch was a rank, like General, I suppose. I don't know. But that's the impression I got from the witch's conversation with the Exarchs. I wish I knew more about this Sengalis and Ulfra, though. And the Ashen Lord, for that matter. That's why I want to check the ritual site.
Damn it! The vampire and the werewolf are long gone. They called themselves Sengalis and Ulfra. And they had an unusual rank or title, Exarch. I wonder what that means. Yeah, I heard. No idea who or what that is, though. Maybe Fen can make sense of what we saw down here. In the meantime, I'm gonna head back inside. I want to get a better look at those stone husks that were left behind. While Fen and I examine that ritual site more closely, you should return to Solitude and inform Svanna that her mother's assassin has been taken care of. She'd want to know. More than that, she deserves to know. I left Svanna back at the Lonely Troll under the care of that drunken orc Mog. Unless he ignored my rather stern warnings, he should be keeping the princess there. I'll meet you back in the city once we finish here. Anything that tells us more about what the Coven and its allies are trying to accomplish. Maybe something about this Ashen Lord. I'd even settle for a clue that points us to any other strongholds they have down here. We need something more to go on. Because I don't trust the security at the palace. Vampire or not, the assassin had too easy a time getting close to the Queen. Besides, Svanna feels comfortable at the tavern. I figured she needed some comfort after watching her mother die.
sailing giants.
alchemy. Be a
It
part
never
of my
imagined.
exciting research.
Finally! Waiting in a tavern without a drink is maddening. How do other people do it? And Mog hasn't been helpful. His solution to every problem involves a great amount of alcohol. What news of the bastard who murdered my mother? Did you find him? I would have preferred to see him dragged back here for a proper trial and execution. But at least justice has been served. Were you able to determine who was behind the murder? Was it connected to the threat you came to warn my father about? Damn those Reach witches! And damn my father for being so obstinate! But what does the Coven want? Are they planning to kill my father? What else can you tell me about this threat to our kingdom? That's horrible. But there must be more to this than simply turning my people into monsters. Well, I'll do what I can to help you. Mother would have wanted me to. What you've done and discovered will be enough to convince my father. It has to be. You and Lyris risked your lives for my kingdom and have been met with nothing but suspicion. You counted on my mother to be your advocate, to convince my father of the Coven's threat. Now she's gone. I'm no substitute, but I'll speak for you. My father hasn't heard a word I've said since I was old enough to talk. But with Mother gone, someone has to make him see reason. You know, she tried to teach me, but I never listened. I guess maybe I'm more like my father than I care to admit. That makes it even more imperative that he heeds your warning and takes action. All of the holds are in danger. Hoffingar, Hjalmarch, Karthald. My father needs to do something before another storm strikes. Meet me at the Blue Palace, all right? I just need a moment to think about how to approach this. Consider the words to use. My courtly manners are a bit rusty, and I've never been much for diplomacy and fancy speeches. Shore's bones, I could use a drink. It feels like I've been shattered into 1,000 pieces and swept under a rug. But I don't have time to mourn right now, not with the kingdom in danger. Now, let's go talk to my father before I change my mind. I'm not sure of anything. If I don't do this, though, I'll never forgive myself if something terrible befalls the kingdom. That's nice of you to say, but I'm not sure I believe that. I hope she's watching all this from Sovngarde. Bet she hates it there. Look, I'll do my best to get my father to listen to you. You have my word on that.
If you're going to make Svanna talk to her father, at least have the decency to buy her a few rounds first. No one should have to stand before the old wolf in a sober state. The crest of solitude decorates every stamp and banner. There's even that drab Tower of the Wolf rising above Castle Dower, as gray and solitary as its namesake. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I'm saying the High King resembles an old wolf. Isn't it everyone's? In my experience, alcohol in sufficient quantities can solve any problem. Give me 10 wagons of ale, and I'll have this entire East-West rivalry business sorted in less than a day. Despite claims to the contrary, Nords prefer the drink to the sword. Pity orcs can't say the same. Tell Svargrim and Yoren that the Nord's still standing when the ale is gone gets to be king, and we won't spill a drop of blood. Maybe some ale, though. The crest of solitude.
Wish me luck, Mog.
Forget luck. I suggest a slug of Kindle Pitch whiskey. You'll need it to stand up to your